are rolling. Anyway. Hi, this is Lori.
This is Peter.
And we're with Action Heroes LA, a subsidiary of Heroes Character Rental Service, doing a remote review since COVID has gone crazy here in LA. Actually, Peter's in the Larklight, which is a garage right now, and I'm not too far away from him in the house connected to the Larklight. So we're going to review Wonder Woman 1984. Which we watched when it came out on Christmas Day. So, Peter, do you want to start us off with what you thought of Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah. Well, I really liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't the world's greatest film, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to give away a lot of spoilers. Mm-hmm. But they do go into the comic book version of Wonder Woman and what things are, Wonder Woman does and has.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Which we were both pretty hyped about. So yeah, it was Wonder Woman 1984. It takes place about 60 or 70 years after the first one. It moves from the World War I era to the 1980s, and Wonder Woman is working as I forgot what she was.
A curator.
She's a curator. Well, yeah, she's like a scientist, an archaeologist or something like that, working in a museum. So she's just living her life. She's very lonely because in 60-something years she hasn't met anyone else since Steve Trevor, and they have a new scientist coming on. Played by Kristin Wiig. We also have the bad guy in this is played by Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian, our Mandalorian guy. And so playing Max Lord, actually, which is one of the comics villains from Wonder Woman. So both of them are. So I don't know what to say. And that's the story. No, they find this, there's this relic that apparently grants wishes, but in the granting of wishes, it always takes something away, and Max Lord gets a hold of this thing and just wreaks havoc. So yeah, we watched it Christmas Day. I had a hell of a lot of fun with this movie. It was I was hyped up. I felt like a little kid. It was nice and colorful, and Wonder Woman was doing some cool stuff, some cool shit, which had me all excited. And it was kind of like the movie I needed at the end of 2020. I just needed something fun and kind of mindless, and we're both in agreement it is not the greatest movie in the world. In fact, reading a few reviews, and I had a lot of my friends really enjoyed it as well. One friend was like, yeah, but this and this. I'm like, you are not wrong. The criticism of this movie, everybody's criticism, you are right. This movie is a mess. It's kind of a spectacular mess, but it's a fun mess. And so there's just a lot of kind of nonsense. It felt like after the first Wonder Woman, they took a lot of time, maybe 10 years to work on that script, and this one felt like about 10 minutes. So I don't want to, you want to add some more? Because I don't want to go on and on here.
Everything that was bad about it, who cares?
It was kind of,
It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of give and take. This was not one of those movies that you would go to the theater and say, okay, there's going to be some disbelief, but they're going to make it seem real, and they're going to, make it, they're going to make it follow science and all this other stuff. No, it doesn't.
Not at all. Cool. Well, it's a throwback to like the earlier era of superhero films, starting with like Superman, and it's the more campy, kind of silly type of stuff, which I was fine with. And maybe I know a lot of people are becoming accustomed to the Marvel movies and things being done a lot better now, story wise. But
and one of the things that's in the trailer I will touch on, but it was still funny in the movie, even though you've seen it in the trailer, and that was that's a trash can.
Oh, right.
That was like, yes, it's a trash can.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, and I think kind of like, I liked Pedro Pascal's performance in this movie. He was hamming it up. He was chewing scenery. He was over the top, but it just kind of worked for me. And I also liked Kristin Wiig, and I liked I can't think of his name, Steve Trevor. I can't think of Chris Pine. I mean, I think a lot of them, their performances were strong enough for me to ignore that. Their character arcs weren't really that well developed and explained. And, there's a lot of people complaining about, why is he inhabiting another person's body and stuff like that? What's, all the wrongness about that. It's just, I just didn't care to think about it that deeply. This movie, but yeah, I just thought their performances carried a lot of the weakness of the script in this, Unfortunately, I didn't think Gal Gadot was as strong as she was in the first film. And there are certain scenes where it's just like, she's a little wooden. And when she and Chris Pine are together, it really helps out. I like their chemistry. I like their banter. They're a lot of fun together.
And I absolutely love the ending credit.
Oh, the ending credits, the surprise, and
watch the ending
you have to like the post credit. What is it? Not the early post credit scene and stuff. So we had a little surprise, a nice little nod, especially for us kids from the '70s, and who were fans of Wonder Woman back then. I hope I didn't give too much away. Well, it's out now. Everybody may have seen it, but what else? There's some other things. I had a lot of thoughts on this because there was a lot of discussion about this movie after it came out. I think I was enthralled with the how they moved her. They had her doing like these fantastical movements. A lot of the action stuff, which a lot of movies will, when it's kind of like superhuman type of movement that like a normal human can't do, they'll CGI it. And when they did Wonder Woman, they did a really good job of blending those two elements. I think they got a lot of like Cirque du Soleil performers to do her parts, and when I heard that, it made a lot of sense. And I thought having her move in that manner was really, really cool. It was really different. It was kind of elegant and feminine in a way, I love that. The only gripe I had CGI was the final action scene between her and Kristen Wiig's bad guy character, where she plays Cheetah, which was your typical bad CGI. They did it as a night scene, and I don't know why movies keep doing this. Like Black Panther had the same problem. It's like, it's too dark. The action is like, I want to see the action. Oh, well, this action didn't look good because they CGI'd that too. So it's just like, that was disappointing to me.
Well, probably the only thing that actually came out and hit me in the face each time, I just said, let it go. And I really tried, but they just kept going. And then this one, and then this one. And that's her lasso or rope of truth. She kept using it for everything.
Yeah, which it looked cool, and I didn't think about it. I didn't recall they didn't have her use her sword and her shield. She didn't have that at all this movie until somebody mentioned it. I'm like, she didn't. And I don't know if there's some kind of political correct thing that went on that they didn't want. I saw some kind of article, I didn't get a hold of it, that there was a reason they took it out. And I was like, why did they do that? That's part of her makeup and stuff. So like you said, the lasso gets used for every single thing. And And I mean, it kind of has like newer uses that were never established before. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm just gonna go. Just gotta go with it, So I can see my little camera.
I did enjoy the movie. Maybe it was just we had such a bad.
Yeah, the people I've talked to that have enjoyed it is just like I just needed to check my brain, have something bright and colorful and funny and silly, and had a feel good message, which this movie does, and a message that's kind of pertinent to what a lot's going on right now in terms of a little selfishness about us humans, So, and I appreciated that. It just came at the right time at the end of a really tough year, and and it is, right after I watched it, then the next day I watched it with my mom, and then we watched the first Wonder Woman. It's not nearly as good as the first one, and when you watch them back to back like that, it's like, oh, why did they not, really put as much into this one, as much care into this one as they did that first one. That's disappointing, because this one I've watched it like a few times, but I don't know if I'll watch it over and over again and want to watch it. If it was on TV, I'll sit down and catch it as much, but like I would the first one. So, but it was fun at the time.
Yeah. Well, the first one you would definitely sit down and watch because it was a good film.
Yeah, it's a really good film.
This one you could sit down and watch because you're just gonna have some fun.
Yeah, it's some silly fun, and it's I know they base the first one on the original There's a lot of elements from the original Superman movie. They took some of the best elements, and kind of this one they took from those Christopher Reeve movies some of the sillier stuff and did this one.
Yeah. Because I mean, in this one, some of the, how she started getting around.
Yeah. I don't mind a lasso to lightning bolt. It just looked cool. I don't care. It doesn't make any sense, but it looks cool. And I don't know. I wouldn't talk about spoiler. I mean, she got her invisible jet. I was so hyped on that. I was so. I don't care how she got it.
Well, here's the part that I liked about that, though. She got her Mr. Miyagi on. But it was a good movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's a lot of fun.
I can see this movie. I can see young kids, young girls just loving this movie, and it'll be, they're kind of like so bad it's good movie in the future. And I say it brought me back to childhood. It did. I was kind of a giddy little girl loving Wonder Woman like I did back then with this movie, and I just appreciated that. So, and I can see it. It's for kids. I think it'll be a classic, future classic. So, if not for anybody else. So, shall we wrap up Wonder Woman 1984? It is streaming on HBO Max. Catch it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Yeah, we know it's bad, but it's fun. Come on.
It's fun. 2020 was bad.
2020 was bad. Let's have some fun. Let us have some goddamn fun, Bruce. Oh my gosh. So we out.
Okay, we out.
We out on a boat to lightning with a lasso of truth there.
but only because it takes balance.
It takes balance. Okay. Yeah.